Welcome back, everybody. So, Valentine's Day is coming up, and I want to give you some ideas if your boyfriend or girlfriend is a car enthusiast. So, depending on what kind of car enthusiast they are, whether they do it themselves or pay somebody else to do it, this is going to be focused on more of DIY type people. So, maybe somebody who would rather save money and do it themselves, or maybe somebody who has just gotten into it and want to see if they like it. Now these are things that I personally think would be good gifts for the DIY type people. But I want to throw in some other ideas as well. Everything on here is going to be $100 or less, so pretty affordable. But if not, then you can go with even cheaper or free things. So let's get started. So the first thing on my list is going to be something that I use almost every single day and I find extremely useful in the automotive car scene, whatever you want to call it. And that would be a grinder. Now this is a DeWalt. It's a little bit higher end grinder, but it's also not the most expensive grinder. This grinder is $99. Now it's a pretty dang good price for a grinder, especially being DeWalt. But this grinder has the trigger pull rather than the switch, because the switches tend to wear out pretty quickly. This blade cover is adjustable, so you can cut whatever direction you want. And I don't like when people take them off, because then they have a chance of exploding. So rather than it coming off and then exploding and hitting you, you can actually just use this. You can turn it like that. That's simple. Just push that little button there down right there, and it turns. So I always take the handles off of these, and this is a 4.5 inch angle grinder. And these are Blackhawk cutting discs. I actually ordered these. They're very affordable, or you can get some a little bit lower quality from Harbor Freight. A pack of those are, I think, about $7.99. Very, very affordable. So a little bit over $100, but I use a grinder all the time to cut stuff when I'm making stuff for my car. For example, the front lip on my car has a piece of sheet metal that goes from this side of the bumper to this side of the bumper, and it goes inside of the bumper, and then I've got it screwed in. And that, I mean, of course, the grinder was very helpful in making that, is what I'm trying to say. And other things, if he welds or you know, whatever, you can use a flap disc on it to polish stuff, or just grind it down very fine. You can use a regular grinding disc, and it does come with one, so you wouldn't have to buy one of those. Now flap discs are pretty expensive, so maybe save that and buy them, save up and buy them, maybe, or her, a kit of those, like a big pack of them. You can normally get an assorted pack of them from Benchmark Abrasives for about $35. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what I paid with a coupon. They must have their coupon. But I do think that would be a very good choice for a DIY type person, unless they are very prone to accidents. I'm actually one of those people. The other day I cut my finger down to my freaking fingernail because I was very impatient trying to get a job done. So I turned the blade cover while it was still spinning very slowly, but still spinning. Don't do that. And my finger actually slipped off and hit the blade. I was wearing gloves, but Obviously gloves are not going to help even when a grinder or a cutting disc hits your finger. Anyways, on to the next one. So this is probably the most useful thing that I have on this list. Well, I don't know, it's a pretty hard decision, but this is probably the most useful thing for anybody to be able to use if they are a car enthusiast and they work on their car, even if it's just on the weekends or every now and then, once a month, it doesn't matter. This is useful for just about everything. This is a Cobalt 64-piece kit. It comes with just about everything that you need. It comes with a screwdriver, all kinds of standard sockets, screwdriver tips, including star bits. Those are very helpful. It does have your socket wrench, your wrench, of course, with 3/8, ½ inch, and 1/4 inch on them, which are all included in here, as the 8mm would be a 1/4 fitting, and then something like the 10 would be 3/8, and then the bigger ones starting at the 15 would be ½ inch. And it also has the extensions for all of them, and there's the screwdriver and then the screwdriver fitting. So by far this is one of the most useful things that I've ever bought myself. I believe this was $64.99. No, I think it was actually $54.99. Bought this at Lowe's. The grinder also came from Lowe's, by the way. And I use those probably every single day. If not every single day, then every other day at least. So extremely helpful. Definitely something I would recommend. I haven't had anything break on them, and I use, you're not supposed to do this, but I use my impact wrench on the chrome sockets. I know you're not supposed to do that, but they're holding up so far. They're just easier to find, and you know, they're out there when you need them. So I would definitely recommend something along the lines of that. To go along with that, something similar you could get, a little bit cheaper. These are from Advanced Auto. These are Gear Wrench brand, and these are 3/8 sockets and got some open-end wrenches. These are extremely helpful if you have a German car or just have a lot of star bolts on things. The teeth on these are quite different from a normal socket, and they grab just about anything. I've had to use these a number of times on BMW valve cover gaskets, and they're all black, so it looks really cool, like a flat black. So it's a really cool looking set, and I believe I only paid $30 for this set from Advanced, and I would definitely recommend those as well. Okay, so this is for somebody who either wants to learn how to paint, or actually, I mean, I still paint with these. They do really amazing for the price. Now, on sale, you can get these for $9, and it's a Harbor Freight HVLP spray gun. Now, I learned on these. I still use these. This is not the one I use anymore, but as you can see, it's pretty old. You can get about 10 good uses out of this gun before it starts clogging up, and if you cleaned it better than I do, then you could probably get more. Now they have sales that these are about $9, which you just can't beat that. And then normal, these are only $15, so still really cheap. So to go along with somebody who wants to start painting, of course you're going to need a bigger compressor if you're doing bigger parts. I mean, even if it's wheels, you're probably going to need about a 30-gallon compressor, but this will help that person get to where they want to be faster. Very easy to set up, very high quality finish. I don't know, I love them. I'm not embarrassed to say that I use these. And this filter is an inline filter. So basically this protects from moisture and debris that might be in the airlines for some reason. This was $2.99. You can actually get the one that I use from Lowe's. I don't have my gun out here, but it is $12.99 and reusable, and looks much better. You know, these red ones, they're only disposable, so you use them one time, you throw them in the trash. But this one from Lowe's is $12.99 or $11.99, and it's clear and it's got a blue thing in it, and I don't know. I will try to remember to set that in this video. But to go along with that, you can pick up one of these. This is just your basic sander. Right now it's got 220 grit on it. It actually comes with sandpaper, but the sandpaper it comes with is trash. So this was, I think, $20, and that's it. And I've done way more than $20 worth of work with this thing. Way more. But the brand, there's the brand, Hyper Tough, and it's just a 5-inch sander. Now if you're sanding and you're painting, of course you're going to want to have a respirator. This is a 3M respirator. You can pick one of these up for about 30 bucks from Lowe's, and this for, well, $15 if it's not on sale from Harbor Freight, and this from Walmart for $20 to $25. So that will get him or her a great head start on learning exactly how to paint. And then you can just get that easy to spray or ready to spray stuff from Advanced. I honestly wouldn't recommend starting with that, but it is a lot cheaper just to get the hang of your motion and everything. It's $25 a quart. That's what I learned on, and I used it for a couple months, and then I moved from the Duplicolor to Nason. The quality difference is just absolutely insane between those two brands. So once they get the hang of the motion and everything, move to Nason brand paint, and it's very easy to use. You mix it yourself. The base coat is 2-to-1, I believe, and the clear coat is 4-to-1. Very easy to use, very high quality finish. Sand it with 320 first. That's as high as I go on stuff most of the time. Sometimes I'll wet sand and do 600, but no more than 600. Anyways, on to the next one. So I forgot to say the price of that. So the paint gun and the sander and the respirator all together before tax would be about $70 at most. If the paint gun was not on sale, if the sander was $25 instead of $20, and the mask, I believe, is about $30. So $70, all said and done, great Valentine's Day gift, and you're helping their skills. You're helping them learn the skills they want to know. It's a great choice in my opinion. So now let's move to the next one. It's 2019. And if you're a car enthusiast, you know exactly what stance and fitment is. Now these two, I want to show you two items. And they can make or break the look of your car, honestly, and they're very affordable. So the first thing I'm going to show you is actually, this is called an Easy Lift. That's it. It's basically, this is a garage door seal with 3M tape on it, and you stick it to the bottom of your front bumper or your side skirts or whatever, and it gives your car an aftermarket look. And I've used these on multiple cars. You can get these off eBay for about $15 to $30, depending on which one you go with. This one is called Samurai. This is the one that I used on my RX-8. So it's a refined garage door seal, and I'm not ashamed to say that I've used them. I used it on my other RX-8, I've used it on my BMW 330i, I've used it on my BMW 335i, multiple of my cars, at least 10 of my cars, and they last quite a while. I did notice that this one was like actually a rubber material rather than a foam material, because some of them are foam. I would try to get the rubber one if I was you. And it gives it a great clean look, very easy to install, very DIY, very cheap, and I recommend it. Next thing that I want to show you is wheel spacers. So I was talking about fitment and stance, and if you have the correct fitment with the correct wheels and the correct car, then this can make everything so much better. Even if you put these on stock wheels, much better. So these are 2-inch spacers. I had these on my C10. These are 5x120. Wait, no, I said that wrong. These are 5x5. And they go to 5x5. These are wheel adapters, actually. So if you get these, this hub-centric ring is extremely important. Make sure you get the correct hub board, just do some Googling. And then you'll probably have to buy lug nuts. But if you have aftermarket wheels, you probably don't need lug nuts. But just make sure everything matches up correctly. I put these on my 1968 C10, and I still have some on there. Yeah. So it went from a stock stance to a very clean, fitted stance. I absolutely hate when wheels sit in too far. That's just me personally, but these 2-inch spacers did the correct fitment for me. So going back to the grinder real quick, if you get him or her a grinder, this is something you're also going to want to invest in. Earmuffs. You don't want to go deaf. Then you can't hear each other say how much you care about each other or how cool each other's cars are. These were, I think, $9.99. I don't even remember where I got them, but you can probably pick them up for Lowe's, from Lowe's, even cheaper, or Walmart. Also, safety glasses, extremely important. If you're cutting metal, you do not want shards of metal flying into your eyeballs like hot freaking cigarette ashes. I don't know. Anyways, how many is that? I don't remember. So I forgot to say the price of the wheel spacers. The wheel spacers you can normally get a full set with hub-centric rings. Do not buy them if they do not have those, for around $80, $100 on eBay. That is eBay quality. Now you gotta think about that. But I will be honest, these came from eBay. They gave me no trouble, which I didn't run them that long either. So it's the first time I've ever ran eBay spacers. I mean, honestly, I didn't have any trouble out of them. I just got those because they was cheap. And so then my other ones are Bora spacers. So these are much cheaper, but you also have to deal with the eBay quality. Like, honestly, I haven't noticed a difference in performance. They do just fine, but I'm sure over time they would eventually wear out. Maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but they do fine for me. My Bora spacers are also doing very good. So that's why I took off the eBay ones. All the other 4 are Bora. But I did run those just to test them out for, I guess, about 3 weeks, and didn't give me a single problem. So I'm not going to say anything bad about them because there's nothing bad that has happened. But I will say Bora spacers are most likely better. Either that or they're charging us, like 5 times the price for no reason. Who knows? Anyways, on with the next item.
So if he or she is a do-it-yourselfer, then they probably know what this is. This is a welding hood. Now, I bought this welding hood a long time ago. This is a Miller Classic, and it cost me about $130. Now, you can get these now, I believe, for $89, and this thing is awesome for the price. It's auto darkening. It's tough. I mean, it's flimsy, but it's tough. It definitely does its job. And I've done a little bit of customization to mine. Here is the inside, filthy. It's the only one I've ever used besides a cheap ass one from Lowe's, and I wouldn't recommend those. Now on this last one, let me set the situation here, because this was my situation on a Valentine's Day one time. So imagine that you are just completely just dead broke. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's been there, and if you say that you haven't been there, you're probably lying. So imagine you're completely dead broke, and you just don't really have money to spare, but maybe say you have some scrap metal laying around, some tin, and a bolt, maybe, because that's what I had laying around. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So I know most people won't admit this, but just one year I was dead broke, so it happened to be on Valentine's Day. And I didn't want to just not get her anything. I mean, you know, you just got to get something at least. And so what I did was I found some scraps, some scrap steel sheet metal, very thin, and a bolt. And I had some spray paint, and that's it. That's all it took. So this is what I made. It's a metal rose. The only thing you'll need is probably some shears, some metal shears, some tin snips, whatever you want to call them, and maybe a pair of needle nose pliers. So I took a long bolt, I painted it green, I put a bend in it, and then I took some sheet metal, screwed it on, threaded it onto the bolt. Well, drilled a hole and then threaded onto the bolt. And then I just, well, made this out of, I think it was 4 pieces of small, I think 24 gauge sheet metal. And I used pliers, and that was it. And then, you know, I just wrote her something sweet on it, and that did the job. That's not exactly something you can even buy in a store. I mean, you can't just go to Walmart and say, I want to make you I want to buy her a metal rose that's going to last literally forever. No, you gotta make something. Get creative with it. Don't be afraid to get creative with it. I mean, she loved it, and obviously she still has it. This is 4 years later. So don't be afraid to get creative with it at all. Alright guys, so I really appreciate you watching. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Now if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell notifications button so you know exactly when I upload, and you can see it that very second. We got some more videos coming on the RX-8 build. We got some videos coming on this 1969 F100. We're gonna build some custom C-notches for it. Got some more videos coming on the C10. All kinds of videos coming on the car shows this year. We will be at Import Alliance. We'll be at Mini Trucking Nationals. We'll be at Slammed Enough. So I hope to see most of you guys there. It'd be really cool to meet all of my followers there. But like I said guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helped, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share all my videos with all your buddies. See you all next video.
But I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in